Octaving Bounce talks about the concept of gratitude. This song is about choosing to focus on the brighter side of life, choosing to focus on the things that we do have in our life rather than those we don't or have lost on the way. The image presented in this song is of a room which with the protagonist in it, and which has a window which is closed, and that is blocking the sunlight. So that's why the room is filled with darkness. The closed window is representing the choice most of us make, which is to focus only on the demeaning voices that come from inside, the negative side of our life, and the things that we don't want or the thing that we never desired but are just there. And we seem to be oblivious to the fact that most of our problems will just go away. The solution to the most of our problems is just to focus on the brighter side of life, try to move on, try to accept how life is, and working with what we have got. But that takes a lot of mental struggle, that takes a lot of courage, and this song gives an amount of exactly that struggle. The song can be broken down into three sections. The first section is the first 2 minutes of the song, that contains the first verse, first pre-chorus, and the first chorus. The protagonist is trying to explain his situation in the first verse. He feels that all the bad, all the unlucky things only happen to him and not the ones around. That only his life is turning out in a bad way and the others are pretty happy. In the next two lines, he's trying to explain he talks about his hopelessness, that he just can't put any effort into anything new that comes into his life, any new opportunity, any new relationship, because of what has happened in the past. And he's kind of asking the question, like, what's even the point in putting efforts into this new thing? Because I know that it will turn out badly, it will turn out in a way that I don't want to. So this is the situation that he is in right now, that because of only bad things being in his life, bad events being in his life, he doesn't even want to move forward, he doesn't even want to put effort into something new because he knows that it will turn out badly. The next section of the song is the second section, which starts at roughly around 2 minute timestamp, and this does not specifically focus on the musicality, but it rather focuses on the expression of the concept. So there's not much music, like musical elements there, but you can actually notice a lot of voices from all the directions, and these represent the voices from our within, the voices from our mind, as well as from the people around us. If you pay attention to it, you can notice that the voices coming from the left are negative, they are demeaning, and the voices coming from the right are positive and uplifting.
Hey man, we are here for you. Just accept there are some things that you can't control and move on.
They haven't been through what you have been
outside
through.
everyone's lives.
So how they even understand this?
Life is a sign. आज अगर तेरा time बुरा चल रहा है तो कल
Easier said than done, of course. If they were to be in your place, they realize.
The voices coming from the left it's just a single voice, and that was recorded by me, and those voices are the voices that is coming from our within, and these are the voices that is pushing the mental state of our protagonist down to the bottom. The voices from the right channel are from multiple people, and those voices represent all the positive advices, all the uplifting thoughts, all the words of help that our friends and our therapist say to us, that actually help us moving towards a better state of mind. In fact, this song was forged from my own personal experiences that I have faced in the past. There was a time when I was going through a similar thing. I used to only focus on the negative side of my life, all the things that I don't have or that I wished that should have been there but they're not. And during that time, a lot of my friends helped me by giving positive advices. And the voices that you can hear in the original song are actual statements that my friends once said. So yeah, like I just called my friends over and I told them to say exactly the thing they told me about a year ago or something, but this time on a mic. So yeah. In this particular situation, when you are going through some bad stuff and the people around you are trying to help you, you know in your heart that what they're saying is right, what your therapist is saying, that we can't control what happens to us externally, we can only control how we react to those things, and how we can learn to accept and move on. You know that all of them are right, but you just don't have the mental energy or the courage to go on that path of moving on, go on that path of accepting that there are some things that I can't control. So that's why you just can't gather the mental courage or the energy to open that window and let the sunlight in. Let yourself focus on the brighter things that you have in your life, and that is what is leading to this endless phase of despair. As the second section proceeds, an audible clash can be noticed between the two schools of thought, which is the negative school of thought, which is coming from the left side, and the positive one, which is coming from the right. And this is representing the fight that is going in the protagonist's mind, and he's struggling which side to focus on. And this build up leads into a third section, which is a very bright and a very uplifting section, and that represents the first step, the point where the protagonist just chooses to blindly trust all of the people that are trying to help him, his therapist, his friends, and chooses to focus on the brighter things in his life. And definitely it's not like all the bad things, all the bad events will just cease to happen in his life. Those things will still be there. We all have good and bad things in our life, but the third section, the start of the third section, is about that step he takes, that from now on he will try to focus on the brighter side of life, and taking first step and the next and the next, and that goes on for whole of the third section, and that's why it is represented in a very positive and uplifting way. The lyrics of the third section are saying that tides of time mean all the adversities that we face in our life. We tend to label them as bad time or bad phase of life. So the song is trying to say that the tides of time will turn around. Octaving bounds. Now let's talk about the title of the song. Octaving is not actually a word, but an octave is an interval in music. It's an interval after which the musical notes repeat, but at a higher pitch. So the word octaving is used here as a metaphor to show that the pool of things, the pool of good things that you have in your life will just get bigger and bigger. The pool of things you can be grateful about, you can be happy about, it can get bigger and bigger if you just take a step back and focus and observe all the beautiful things that are there around you. And I think that is a way we can lead towards a stable mental state, along with that leading a happier life, and I think that is a lifelong endeavor. Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. This is the day when we have completed 2500 streams on Octaving Bounce on all streaming platforms. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for all the love that you have given to this track. And if you like my content, if you want to see more videos from me talking about production and other things, do subscribe, as this helps me out a lot. So thank you so much.